You got to make up in your mind, Beulah Heights, there is no limit to where you're going. You got to have that in your mind. There is no limit to where I'm going. What helped me through some of my most difficult times here at Beulah Heights? There was a young lady who was actually old enough to be my grandmother. She was enrolled here at Beulah Heights, and she was a year, I believe, ahead of me. And I thought, when I saw her one day, I thought she was coming to really wait on somebody who was in class. I did not know, Dr. Roger, that she was a student in class until she opened up her bag and began to pull out her materials. And I started scratching my head. I said, now, I'd not seen that before. She was old enough to be my grandmother. Really, no exaggeration. She was old enough to be my grandmother. And she was sitting in class. And watch this now. She was not looking for others who were in the class to try to help her with her work. One person was trying to show her in the book. She said, no. I heard what he said. The professor began to share what chapter we were in and this, that, and the other. She said, no, I heard what he said. She said, I got it. There were others who were trying, respectfully, but were trying to help her in certain areas. And she said, no, I have it. And then she had to let some other people know, listen, I'm here just like you're here. I'm here to learn and receive like you're here to learn and receive. And I remember she told somebody one day over in the student center, she said, my mind is just as clear as your mind. Can I help somebody? Sometimes you got to remind people that, listen here, my mind is just as clear as your mind. Don't get it twisted because I'm older than you are. Don't get it twisted because I didn't come from where you came from. Don't get it twisted that I didn't go through what you went through. Please don't get it twisted. Tell somebody, the Lord, just like he helped you, the same God is going to help me. And I was there that day to witness her walk across that stage at New Birth and receive her degree, being one of the oldest graduates of Beulah Heights University. And listen, you know what? I made up in my mind, if she can do it, I can do it. I need about 15 people in here right now who will make up in your mind, no matter what I have to go through, I will finish. Okay. Maybe somebody didn't hear that. I need you to look down your row because you have peers right here all on these seats. Look down your row and say, we will finish this thing. We will finish. We will finish what we started, and we're going to finish with good grades. We're going to finish retaining what we need to retain. And listen here, we're not just going to have paper on the wall. We're going to be movers and shakers in our church, movers and shakers in our community, movers and shakers all around us, because we're going to live a limitless life. Last thing I want you to see, and I'm going to my seat. There are two areas that we can allow to limit us. One is this. Don't let failure be a limitation.
Talk about that.
Don't let failure be a limitation. Don't get the mindset because you failed that you can't try again.
That's good.
As we've come into this new year, make up in your mind, because I failed a test does not mean that the class is over. Because I didn't get an assignment in when I needed to have gotten it in on time does not mean that this class is over for me. See, what happens is we will look for any and every excuse to stop going forth with that which we're pursuing. And understand. Don't let the fact that you didn't receive an A on that first test cause you to now second guess while you're here. Are you with me? You have to learn to try again. Come on, say it with me. Try again.
Try again.
Try again. If I had time today, I'd go down a litany of people who failed when they first started. But they had in their mind, I'm going to try again. Harlan Sanders, he had this special recipe, but nobody would even want to touch his recipe. But he kept on trying. And next thing you know, somebody took a chance with his recipe with chicken. And now all of us in this room have tasted that recipe. Y'all know what I'm saying here. We say it's finger licking good. But he tried again. That there were those who said that Albert Einstein, that there was something wrong with him, that he was developmentally slow because he spoke later in his childhood that he developed slow. But now look at who Albert Einstein was. Look at who he was, because understand, he kept on trying. Abraham Lincoln failed time after time running for office and kept being defeated, but he kept on trying. And that same one who was turned down, the same one who folks said he ought to stop running for office, became president of the United States of America. Michael Jordan, you know Mike. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, but he didn't let that stop him from playing basketball. He continued and he kept on trying. And then he walked away with not just one, not just two, but he has a handful of rings, championship rings, because he kept on trying. Harry Belafonte was told, you need to go wash dishes because your accent is too strong for motion pictures. But he kept on trying. And here it is. He has an Oscar on his mantelpiece to prove that, listen here, even when people tell you what you cannot do because they feel that you will not succeed, you got to keep on trying. Don't let your failures derail you from your destiny. But last thing I want you to see, not only don't let your failures be your limitations, don't let your success be your limitation. What do you mean by that, Sewell? See, another limitation is our success. Many of us become successful and then stop. It can become, success can become a boundary.
That's good.
Yeah. Never settle for that's enough. Some say, well, you know what? I just want to go to Beulah Heights just to take a couple of classes. Just so I could have a survey of the Old Testament. Or so I could just have a good introduction to the New Testament. But make up in your mind, just because you passed that class, don't let that be the end of it. Because watch this, after you've taken introduction to New Testament, then take introduction to Old Testament, then start taking a minor prophets class, then start taking a major prophets class, then start taking a class on Paul, then start taking a class on the epistles, and then take a class on systematic theology. Somebody here know what I'm talking about. Then take a class on ethics, and then take a class on marriage and the family. Began to take all these classes, and next thing you know, after you've taken these classes, now they're telling you it's time to pick up your cap and gown. Because you realize what started off as just a class, it ended up in a degree. And even when you finished, even here at Beulah Heights, don't let this be the end of it all. What I received my bachelor, I received my associates. Don't just stop right there, because learning never ends. And I've just come today to let you know, just to encourage you today, whatever you do, don't let people box you in. Don't let others box you in. Don't let your success box you in. Yes, don't let your failures box you in. Because I've come today to tell you, God has great things in store for you. Look at your neighbor right quick and just encourage him and tell him, say, neighbor, God has great things in store for you. Tell him, as a matter of fact, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the hearts of men what great things God has in store for you. Can you put your hands together and thank the Lord?